Nerd Reactor, roll out.
What's up, Reactorites? John here, and it's time to talk about The Witcher. The Witcher Season 2 came out in December 2021 on Netflix, and the story revolves around Geralt of Rivia bringing Ciri into Kaer Morhen, and you have many different protagonists joining along, and they're traveling all around the continent, which is the world of The Witcher. And since this is a huge world, I decided I want to make a video about the key locations and where they're located in the continent. And before we get to it, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to this channel, and without further ado, let's get to the key locations of The Witcher Season 2. So for the world map, there's this one world map that I really liked from Redditor Rabbit Slayer U, and it was created using Incarnate, and Incarnate is a fantasy map making site, and it's just pretty cool because whatever it is you want to create, you can create it there. For example, you have a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, you want to create a world that's very fleshed out, you can use the site to create that world. And you can use this for other like tabletop RPGs. And for fans of maps, this is just a great tool and a great resource. And for me, like, I love looking at maps from fantasy worlds, like for example, Middle Earth for Lord of the Rings. And then you also have Westeros for Game of Thrones. And just looking at these three different big projects, for example, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, The Witcher, very much inspired by Europe. Like for Game of Thrones, Westeros, very inspired by England. And then you look at the map for Middle Earth and for the continent, very much inspired by the western side of Europe. But yeah, with the continent, with this world map, it's got a lot of different kingdoms that you can see. Yeah, let's just look at a quick overview of the map here. Yeah, you can see Redania up here on the north side, Cadwin, you got Temeria, right below Redania, and then below Tamaria is Cintra, and you go all the way down, you see Nilfgaard. So let's talk about the key locations that's featured in the second season of The Witcher. And the first location, we'll talk about Cintra. And Cintra is the area that Ciri is from, the kingdom that Ciri is from, and it got dominated by the Empire of Nilfgaard. So yeah, Cintra, the capital city, is also named Cintra, and this is a very important kingdom that's been featured in The Witcher. In the first season, you see Cintra, you see Ciri in it, and she's trying to escape the area because people are hunting down everybody and also hunting her. And then in the second season, Cintra has been gifted to the elves by Nilfgaard, and the elves have reclaimed it and called it Cintria, which it was called before the humans came over. And Cintra is also another important location for the monolith. One of them was taken down by Ciri when she was screaming in the first season. And here we get to see what happens to the monolith. There's going to be more monsters in the continent now, thanks to this monolith that's been broken. And when you look at the area of Cintra, Cintra is right below Temeria, and it's way above Nilfgaard. And Nilfgaard has been conquering areas, and it took over Cintra in the first season. And above that, it's going to go for the other kingdoms, and it's going to expand. All right, so next up, we're going to be talking about Redania. And Redania is a kingdom that's ruled by King Vesemir. King Vesemir, we get to see him in the second season where he's talking to Dijkstra, and Dijkstra is a person that's gathering intelligence and finding out who's a spy and who's a traitor. It's a wealthy kingdom, and it's known for its cities, including Oxenfurt and also the free city of Novigrad. And many parts of Redania were featured in the second season, including Nevland's Manor. And if you look at the map here for Redania, it's way above. It's like the northwest of the continent, west of Kaer Morhen, and it's pretty tucked in there, so the kingdom would be good. It's at a good spot to be the furthest away from Nilfgaard. And for Redania, you look at the very center, it's below the river. The main city is Tredogor. And next up, let's talk about Temeria. Temeria is right below Redania, and it's right above Cintra. And it's a kingdom ruled by King Fotis. And King Fotis, you saw him in the first season. He's the one that wanted Geralt to find out what happened to his daughter. And for Temeria, it's got many different locations inside that has been featured in the second season, including Eratusa, Sodden Hill, Elander, and Gorsvelen. And then we have the antagonist of the series, Nilfgaard, and you look at the map, it's all the way at the bottom, and you can see that its trajectory is going up because in the first season, it conquered Cintra, and pretty much you know what to expect. It's going to want to go up even more towards Tamaria. Yeah, so with Nilfgaard, it's ruled by the Emperor Emir Var Emrys, and if you watch the second season, the finale, the identity has been revealed, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet for the second season, it's the father of Ciri, and now you're starting to understand, like, all right, so Nilfgaard is ruled by Ciri's father, and Nilfgaard has been searching for Ciri, so what does he want with his daughter? And if you read the books or played the game, you know the importance of why Emir wants to have his daughter by his side. And for the book, it's something. Let's talk about one of the key locations in the first episode of the second season. It's Nevlin's Manor, and this manor is tucked away in the forest, in the mountains. And if you've seen the episode, it's really cool because it's inspired by Beauty and the Beast, and this manor belongs to Nevlin, who used to be a man who's transformed into a beast thanks to a curse. But yeah, in the episode, you have Geralt and then you have Ciri. They're on their way to Kaer Morhen, and this is one of the stops that they happen to cross along the way. And you look at the map here. It is located in Redania. Inside Redania, there's a city called Murreville, and the manor, Nevlin's Manor, is nearby, located in the woods. The next key location we're going to be talking about is Kaer Morhen, and Kaer Morhen is an old keep, and it's a place for the Witchers from the School of the Wolf, but other Witchers can come. Usually during the winter, the Witchers come, they gather, they rest here, and then after winter's over, they go out again to go hunting for monsters. So Geralt takes Ciri here to help protect her and also to help her train. And yeah, if you look at the map here, you see Cadwyn here, and you look up northeast, you see Kaer Morhen, and it's tucked away in the mountains of Hirch, and you can see it along the Gwenlech River. And so this is a pretty nice area where it's secluded, so it should be hard for people to try to reach there unless they know where it is. But in the second season of The Witcher, it's like, hey, everybody, let's just come to Kaer Morhen. Yeah, this is why the location of Kaer Morhen is really important when it's tucked away. It's great for the Witchers to rest and to relax, and they don't have to deal with a lot of madness and craziness. But the second season of The Witcher, executive producer, showrunner Lauren decides to just have all the chaos happen there. All right, the next key location we're going to be talking about is Eratusa, and Eratusa was heavily featured in the second season with all the mages. You got the sorcerers and the sorceresses. And here you can see the image of Eratusa. It's in the mainland, and off the coast on the island of Thand Island, you see the Tower of Gull. And in the books, the actual Eratusa location is on the island, but on the show, it's on the mainland. So in Eratusa, it's the location where the mages gathered to discuss the aftermath of the Battle of Sodden Hill, the climactic battle in Season 1. And it was also the area where the rulers of the Northern Kingdoms gathered. And instead of Cahir being executed, you have Yennefer of Vengerberg helping him to break free of his bonds and to help him flee outside of Eratusa. And if you look at Eratusa, it's located in Tamaria on the west side, and it is near Gorsvelen, which is the area, the city, the port city where Yennefer and Cahir is going to escape to. All right, so next key location, we're going to be talking about Gorsvelen. And it looks like a really cool, beautiful city. Like if you look here, you can see the birds flying around, and the way the city looks, it just reminds me of San Francisco, where you have the bridge connecting one city to another area. And it looks beautiful. This is like a little island. It looks like their version of Alcatraz. But yeah, Gorsvelen is a port city near Eratusa in Temeria, and it's one of the most important trade cities in the continent. And Yennefer and Kaer are on the run here, and they try to stay hidden by wearing a bright purple cloak for Yennefer and a nice green cloak for Kaer. Very inconspicuous. Like if I was out there trying to hide myself from escaping execution, I would wear these type of colors out in the open in this big city with a lot of people around and watching you. And when you look at the map of the continent, Gorsvelen is shown here on the coast and is northwest of Temeria. Gorsvelen is pretty close to Redania, and so it's a pretty important spot. All right, the next key location we're going to be talking about is Oxenfurt. And if you're watching the traveling of Yennefer and Kaer as they escaped, so they went from Eratusa, and then after that they went a little bit southeast to head to Gorsvelen, and they need to get to an area with a boat so that they can travel to Cintra. The answer is Oxenfurt, and fans of the books, and especially of The Witcher 3, Oxenfurt is a really cool city. Like in the game, they recreate this city, Oxenfurt, so you can really walk around and see where things are and how they look, and just the atmosphere, the environment. And it's really well done by CD Projekt Red. And so yeah, as we're following Yennefer and Kaer, that means they went from Tamaria, they went through an underground tunnel to reach the city up north in Oxenfurt, which is in Redania. So they went into a different kingdom, to a different city. And the Redanian city is known for the Oxenfurt Academy, which is the biggest academy in the Northern Kingdoms. And Jaskier graduated there with summa cum laude honors, and he also studied the 7 liberal arts there. And this was the location where Yennefer sees Jaskier again for since the first season, and they had a very tense relationship, but in the end, Jaskier decides, you know what, I'll try to help you guys out to get to Cintra on a boat. And if you look at the map here, Oxenfurt is near the river on the south side of Redania, and it's also near the borders of Temeria. And you look below, you'll see Gorsvelen, and you see Eratusa. And to the west of Oxenfurt, you'll see Novigrad, which is the free city, and it's got like 30,000 people there, just right there. So that area is very just rich in people and culture. And if I were to live in the continent, I would want to be in that area. Next key location we're talking about is Melatelli's temple. And this temple looks really nice, and it's surrounded by a bunch of trees, and it's just gorgeous here. And the temple of Melatelli is run by Nenneke, a priestess who helps those in need in the Northern Kingdoms, and Geralt takes Ciri here to help her study. And if you look at the map of the continent, the Temple of Melatelli is located in the Kingdom of Tamaria in Elander, a city northeast of Vizima. And Vizima is the capital city of Temeria. So yes, these are the key locations featured in the second season of The Witcher. Hopefully this video has helped you get a better understanding of the world of the continent and where the different kingdoms are located in the different areas like Neville's Manor, Kaer Morhen, Eratusa, etc. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give a like, subscribe to this channel. With that said, I'm John, and I'll see you guys next time.